Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 90 of the Star Wars Popcast. My name's Christopher.
My name's Patrick.
And I'm Lex.
And yeah, we're excited to have you back, Lex, because it's been a couple weeks. Patrick we all took a day off last week. I had to work last week. Patrick, you were busy last week doing some shenanigans there.
I had things going on with the kids.
Yeah, and then Lex busy building her collection room there. It looks like you've been busy.
Yes, very, very busy, but kind of settled in now. So everything's been put together, started work this week. So very excited with the new space that I have to kind of, recreate and do, some different things. So definitely going to be one step at a time, but I think it's coming along pretty nicely.
Yeah. So I kind of thought it would be fun to talk about how to display our Funko Pops. And this doesn't just go for Star Wars Funko Pop collectors. It goes for everyone. Because we'll teach you how to be a pro at displaying your Funko Pops. Because I think we all have some ideas of how we display ours. Like, I think we're all kind of doing them a little bit differently, too. Like, Patrick, you kind of got, like, some themes going on there with different characters. And
yeah,
I kind of go in chronological order.
Character, waves, this series, some diorama. And I like to place other things in there. Yeah, I mix it up a bit. But honestly, I think the biggest thing in the last year was for me going from box to out of box. That was a big
tossed in those boxes.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's we do have a special guest on tonight or this afternoon. He was actually in our chat last week or a couple weeks ago now, Patrick. He was in the chat when you and I were last on here.
Yes.
Let's bring him on. He's got his own YouTube channel. We'll let him introduce his channel, but this is Tommy. Hey, Tommy, thanks for coming on the episode.
Hey, everybody. Hey, how you doing?
Good. Do you want to let people know about your channel, where they can find you, and just introduce yourself?
Sure. I am Tommy. As you can see from the title, I'm the Population Pophead. I've been collecting since February 2022, so just about 3 years coming up. And I just love Funko pretty much. I love Funkos. I love Star Wars, as you can see.
Yeah,
and a whole bunch of different, I guess, lines or waves or whatever you want to call it. But Star Wars is my main thing, though.
Nice. So, Tommy, we usually ask all our guests 3 questions when we have them on the show.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
First question: how many Star Wars Funko Pops do you have in your collection?
I have 49 at the moment.
49. Okay. And then how about as a collection overall? How many Funko Pops overall?
Overall, I have 215.
215. Okay, 215. And you said what? 40? You said 49 of those are Star Wars. Yeah. So that's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. A quarter of your collection. So
yes.
Yeah. So what is your most expensive Star Wars Funko Pop that you own?
Oh, my most expensive would probably be my die-cast Boba Fett, probably.
Oh, that's up there, yeah.
Nice.
What's your favorite of all your Star Wars Funko Pops? What's your favorite one? Not even including price tag, just your favorite.
My favorite Funko Star Wars would have to be. It'll be a tie. It'll be a 2-way tie. It'll be the Omega from Bad Batch.
Yeah.
And the holographic Darth Maul that just came out. I really love that Darth Maul. The glow on him is just insane.
Yeah.
So that's like my 2, 1A and 1B. We'll go that way.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one. The glow in the dark Maul, because I actually just recorded my review for that, so that'll be coming out soon. But the glow is good. I agree. The glow is good, but I thought it was going to be more like the Force Ghost 3-pack. I thought it was going to be more like that.
Yeah.
This
was more like the Luke holographic, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I liked it.
Well-
I think what makes that one unique is the different layering of the textures. It really kind of brings that one out.
Especially his face. When his face lights up, like you can really see like the detail in his face, and I really, really love that about it.
Yeah.
Right. So it looks like you've got quite the display behind you. Is that that's not all of them? You said you got over 200, so that's not all of them. You have some on some other shelves there.
I have this set here, and I have another set here. That's a set of 15, and on this opposite wall here, that's my Marvel wall, and I might have all of those over there. And next, I'm going to finish doing this wall over here, so I can bring other stuff over here and expand my whole. This wall will be all Star Wars.
Nice. I like that. And what do you have them sitting on? Since we're kind of talking about displays this episode.
These are floating shelves that I got from Amazon actually, and and they come in a pack of 4. And I don't want to put like holes in the walls or anything like that, so I use command script for them.
Yep.
And hang them up that way. They hold up really good. The weight is awesome on there. They don't fall. They don't move. They don't.
Yeah, like because you can't even see it. You can't even see the shelves themselves. Like, are they just like clear acrylic kind of thing?
Yes, sir. They're clear.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that looks clean.
Thank you.
That looks really clean. Yeah. So I don't know. We haven't talked pickups for a little while, guys. What have you guys gotten? I know, Patrick, you've been getting packages in.
I have some packages I haven't undone yet.
Okay. So, do you have anything that you have open that you can show off?
All right, I have something.
Okay.
Patrick's totally out of box now.
Yeah, he's switching. I've converted him. Yeah.
Okay.
We got Warrox, Miami.
I got this bad boy.
There. Hey, Warrox.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
This bad boy is
yeah.
But what I was curious about is I'll be I got to film a video later tonight. My wife and I are going to try to have a little date night because my daughter's working and my son's kind of on a play date. So we actually have some adult time. So we're going to try to go out and do something nice. But when I get home tonight, my plan is to take him apart. So another guy who photographs Funko Pops did a really great, really phenomenal image of that first appearance, Darth Vader or / Anakin. And he told me if you take the screw, there's 4 screws at the bottom of the base. If you take them out, that big gray plastic will come off, and you'll have you'll be able to get and put a light underneath through that orange acrylic underneath the droid. And I was like, oh, so I did that. So I'm about to do that. Then the other piece is that came in yesterday is I ordered another Anakin Walgreens. And you know exactly why, Chris, because I'm going to be popping that head off and swapping them. So that is something that I'm looking forward to. But I did finally get 2 more from that Fet Wave that I haven't unboxed yet. I just know that that's what they are. But it's weird because these won't come until the 31st. I'm like, this is such a BS. Like, if I've ordered them, I had them pre-ordered, I should have them. Like, I could have gone to stores and just picked them off the shelf, not paid for any shipping, nothing. So a little frustrated that I'm waiting that long to get them.
Yeah,
I feel that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I did get a package today, which I'm super excited for because I think it's Kylo Ren New York Comic-Con. So nice. I saw your video, Christopher, and was just like, damn him.
Yeah.
Looks so good. It like I haven't even gotten mine out of the box, and I'm already saying he's in the top tier of my 2024 Funko Pops.
He's up there. He's up there.
Yeah.
That's Luck and Finesse says that's an awesome display. I think they're talking about Tommy's display.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Luck and Finesse.
Yeah. Super clean. Absolutely. How about you, Lex? Have you picked up anything? It's been a while since we've talked
Nope.
pickups.
I pretty much just moved in and then started work immediately, and I've kind of just been on the go. I mean, I have picked up some pops, but I can't share with you guys until our special Christmas episode. So, they're not for myself, but they're for you guys.
You did send Patrick and I a text the other day, and you did see some in the wild there, some pops that I didn't think were getting released
ever since you saw that, Lex. Now I've been like, I've got to find them. Are they already out? Like, I was surprised that you saw them.
I don't know. I went to my local Second and Charles, kind of like looking for pops for the holidays, because my sister also collects, but she's more of a Stitch Funko Pop collector. So just trying to get like some ideas and stuff, especially for you guys as well. And I was just looking, and like how they have it set up is there's just like rows, like ginormous rows, and they're usually like 2 deep of pops. And I'm just like walking around, looking, and all of a sudden I look down because I thought I like hit something, and there was the what? Oh my god, what was it called? The skeleton fruit pop.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? So I sent it to you guys because I was like, I don't even think it's like technically out yet. And then I kept
I don't think it's supposed to be. That's what I was like.
And then I walked around the corner and I saw another one. So then I picked them both up and I went to the lady at the front and I was like, okay, well, you have these two. Do you have Neil? And she was like, oh, there's no way to know. You have to go look through them. And I said, I'm not looking through all these. So I'll wait till he shows up at Target or something.
Wow. Right. I love the box.
That's cool, though. That's cool that you were able to see those.
Pretty.
Yeah, the box really like stood out to me. That's why I was like, whoa, like I didn't even know those were out yet. But the box looks really good. The pops themselves look
stands
really
out.
Good. It does.
It was like, no pun intended, but it pops that gold with that bluish purple. Like that's what I was when I was in the store today. Yeah. I was just scanning for that color. Where do I see that? Like,
yeah, it definitely stands out. And I really like the color scheme that they're going with, kind of like I feel like it definitely has a theme to it, like with throughout the characters and stuff. So I was totally shocked because usually Second and Charles, it's a lot of like secondary pops, like pops from other people's collections. So you really have like a mixture of new and old, but those are like I didn't even realize those were
like I'm looking at the GameStop. I'm looking at the US GameStop website. They're not even up for pre-order there yet.
No, I saw them on Box Lunch site, but like it doesn't say any shipping or like you can order them, but like you're not getting them for a while.
Yeah,
but
there we go.
I looking in the wild, did not see any in the wild. Any.
Yeah. Yep.
So second and Charles in Jacksonville is where it's at.
That's it. Yep. They had KB and Fern. So
yeah, Tom, you're gonna have to hit that up.
Where is that place?
It's in St. John's Town Center.
Oh, okay.
It's become like my home base. I can't even count on one hand how many times I've been to Target already. So I know where Target is at least.
Right.
There you go.
It's a cool shop. They have a lot of stuff. Yeah. As soon as I get home, I'm like, oh, I probably also needed to grab Windex, or I probably also needed like hand soap. Oh, I probably should also grab this. So lots of things that you don't think about when you're, just moving into a new apartment.
Oh yeah.
Like from scratch.
The best way you'll make something, Lex, because you're in a new place and you forget, like, I went to put. Oh, I don't have mustard. I don't have condiments.
Yeah.
I don't even have seasonings. I have no salt, pepper. So it's been an experience. So, but yeah, Second and Charles is really cool. They have like a buyback program too, where you can like kind of sell some of your pops and then buy stuff in stores. So that was really cool. But they have everything from like lounge flies to books. They have Dungeons and Dragons, horror, like just anything you could think of. They probably have it, but it's really cool because they have a lot of the older pops and stuff like that. Nothing that stood out to me as like super high price. Like I didn't come across like a Captain Rex, Clone Wars pop, but they have some pretty decent pops that I feel like you don't really see anymore unless you're at like a convention. So it was pretty cool. I definitely enjoyed, getting to visit. That was fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
How about you, Chris? Did you pick up anything?
I think you guys know I picked up stuff.
I know you got. I know. Even with Kylo Ren, you had for sure.
I kind of did something a little bit different and posted my pickups from GameStop before my month-end haul video. So, so let's start with the same one that Patrick picked up. So I got that one as well.
Nice,
love it.
The Vader
that one.
First appearance. Hey, I'm gonna have to move stuff around here. All right. let's just bring the bag up. Okay, we got
Look at the size
Palpatine.
bag they gave you for that.
Oh wow, did you get like the whole wave?
Aside from the bronze ones, we got Darth Maul.
Yes.
Nice.
Still
So
need
the
to get
comment,
that.
or yeah, so that one's cool. Like I said, I did the review, so I did a review on the both of them together. So that video will be coming out this week. I got the Count Dooku.
Dooku.
I finished off my Fett Legacy wave, so we got the Boba Fett with the knee rockets.
Nice.
Nice.
Got to get that one as well.
We got the young Boba,
Oh, I can't wait. For
Daniel
him.
Logan.
That's a great one.
That is.
We got the Jango Fett.
Mm.
And then
I saw that at
the one
GameStop
that,
today.
yeah, there you go. The one that I know Patrick is excited about. Let me get these things put away here, and then I'll grab that one. The shared exclusive Kylo Ren, which I guess you guys haven't seen it in person yet. Like, it's supposed to be what, Target down there? Target
Yeah, I
exclusive?
looked. It wasn't there.
So look at the sticker.
It's got like a hologram over it or behind it.
Yeah, it's behind it. So it's kind of, it kind of has that same kind of textured feel to it.
Chris, what happens? I might want to record this when I open up mine. When you hit the QR code, what's it do? Does it go to Funko? Where's it go?
Yeah, it goes to the Funko website, and you can register it or whatever they call it. You register it with your name and I believe your phone number. So
now, when you do that,
I feel like it's going to be a little harder.
App?
No, it doesn't do anything with the app. So you still got to scan the barcode at the bottom and add it to your app. But yeah, no, it I think it makes it a little tougher for people to make fake con exclusives now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
It looks pretty cool. It's a neat idea. Sure.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like, I know we discussed the box on the podcast, how it, like, at first I was like, okay, it's Rise of Skywalker packaging because that's what they came in.
Just like it.
Yeah.
Right? Which it is exactly the same packaging. But then I was thinking, like, is this just like updated general Star Wars packaging? Maybe they just updated the general Star Wars.
Much, though. I mean,
because
I feel like if it was new updated, I feel like it would look more like the Acolyte or like Skeleton Crew. But because I feel like when you do the same wave, like
but those ones actually say like the Skeleton Crew. I think it actually says Skeleton Crew on it, doesn't it?
No, it just says Star Wars on the front of it.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know.
That's what I was kind of thinking,
but I was like,
with the black and red from this dark side wave that they've had. Honestly, I thought when they did Kylo Ren, it would be that kind of box. It probably would have looked nicer in that kind of box.
Yeah, or even give him the cracked mask from Rise of Skywalker, because you'll notice it does say Supreme Leader. He's not Supreme Leader at this point. So
yeah,
Bounty one.
As good of a Funko Pop this is. Like, if you're an inbox collector, that's one thing that could get you, along with the packaging, right? So
no, when you see the rest of the pop, there's no little cracks with the red at all.
No, it's his episode 7.
So it's probably when he goes and kills that guy in the beginning. He goes, "I'll show you the dark side." That's what it looks like.
I think it's from Starkiller Base when he lights his lightsaber up with the hood when he's outside. I think it's that pose. Yeah, I guess so.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's a cool pop.
Yeah, I think the only pops that actually say anything other than Star Wars are the Rebels pops, because they have the Rebels logo. But I think everything else just generally says Star Wars.
But like on the back, the Mandalorian pop, the Mandalorian ones say Mandalorian at the back.
I'm just looking at all my empty boxes piled up, and
I'm seeing if I can grab one. I don't know.
Well, like on the front of it, like usually where it has the number.
Yeah, on the front,
generally. But on the back, I think usually
or like the back. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it doesn't.
I feel like you have more space for that kind of stuff, but
yeah. But
who knows?
Yeah. And then not really any Funko news lately. other than Lex finding them at in person.
Yeah. And you know what's kind of interesting is because we really didn't get even to talk about NYCC, but I do think it's interesting that the former CEO has started Thrilljoy.
That is interesting.
Have you guys seen Thrilljoy at all?
No.
Yes.
Dude, they look pretty cool. Like they're the size of like a laptop monitor, right? For the most part. So they got these things called Pix, guys, and it's a 3.5 inch, almost 4 inch, like a normal size Funko Pop. But their vinyl figure is in a shadow box that is stackable for collecting. They don't do stickers; they do a wax seal on the clear acrylic, and it's like whatever their little logo or whatnot is, but it's like that. And they have it. They do have chases, and then they have something which is the Ultra Chase, which I didn't know until I watched Slapshot Pops talked about it, where you have, say you've got, it's a limited run piece of 3,000, right? That's the normal Thrilljoy, like their icon character Blue, right? That kind of looks like a Wampa kind of thing.
Yeah,
that guy, you can get, they had 3,000 of him. They sold out at Comic-Con, at the New York City Comic-Con, but you can still get them online. Now there's a chance for a Chase where he's wearing like a gold thing.
Yep.
Crazy is that 24 Ultra Chase is a completely different sculpt of a different character.
Yep.
So you could go and try to collect something, and I think that might be the draw to kind of suck you in. If you're one of those people that really likes to go for those chases, that Ultra Chase is that's gonna get you hook, line, and sinker. Like, get the net.
But the thing is, though, with the Thrilljoy, like I think that they would be a little bit difficult to display because you can't just get a Billy bookshelf or something like that and stack them up and stuff like that. You can stack them up. You can probably stack them up 3, 4, 5 high, but those are some big cases.
And I think they even have wall mounts on them for that purpose too.
The cases, like if you have like one Thrilljoy, you could probably fit like 3 Funko Pops in that same area and with that Thrilljoy item picks that it is. And they really do look cool. Me personally, I don't think that I would probably get a whole bunch of those. Like if they come out with something cool for Star Wars or something like that, maybe Batman or something like that. But I don't see myself getting like 200 Thrilljoys. I just don't see that.
At $50 a pop for those.
Yeah, $50 a pop.
Woo, that's the starting price.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's for me a little bit. And I don't honestly think, in my opinion, considering Funko's relationship with Lucasfilm Disney, I do not see them getting involved with Thrilljoy. I think that they're going to just stick with Funko. But I have seen other IPs that I've seen both Funko and now Thrilljoy. So who knows? It would be interesting to see. And if I guess if Thrilljoy pitched it to Lucasfilm Star Wars, they have to do something like crazy to really kind of hook. Like, you know what they could do? Approach them and say, we're going to make a Sauce Ventress. Because since Funko didn't do it, we're going to. That would bring us all over to Thrilljoy.
Over that. They would go crazy over that. Even I would. If I'm there. They come out with Anasazi, I'm definitely going to pick that one up. Because Funko had all this time to make one of her. And they still have to find it. Come on now. They already know people want that pop. They know it. And if they sell it, they know people are going to gobble it up. So
we've been waiting for it
people
forever.
What they want.
I'd like to see some more vehicle, like pop rides being done, like a Cobb Vanth on his pop ride on his speeder bike, looked like a piece of Anakin's pod racer. Come on, that like simple things like that. You don't even have to really dig deep; they're right there on the surface level. Like that's pretty cool. Let's do that. You know, like that's kind of cool. I don't know why we're missing that, and yet we get a bronze edition of sculpts that we already had. To me,
that's what frustrated me about the NYCC Funko that they came out with that Kylo Ren. They could have did anything. that they absolutely wanted to, but they give us the Kylo Ren Supreme Leader when we already have one from Smuggler's Bounty. So
yeah,
we don't need another one of those.
I didn't even think of that, Tommy. That's a very good point, because we've been complaining on the show that we only have one wave of the Acolyte. Will we get a second with all the negativity cancellation?
No.
Highly doubtful. But that New York Comic-Con would have been the perfect place to do like The Stranger.
Yes.
Dude, that would have gone
I think it would have. But I think it's too soon for the Acolyte still.
No. You know
I
what?
think so.
I think it's too soon for the people that are complaining. But for those that enjoyed it,
I think for the general public, there wasn't enough general public who enjoyed it. I don't think. I think it was mostly a lot of hardcore fans who enjoyed it. I don't think a lot of that's the trouble. It didn't get the viewership from the general public, is what it was.
So I went to one of my the newer local comic shops, I guess, up here in Jackson. He was kind of explaining to me that because of the Acolyte and the failure of it and the movies and stuff like that, a lot of people are losing interest in Star Wars collectibles, aside from the economy and, the state that we're kind of in. But he said that Star Wars is by far the slowest moving kind of product that he has. And he's not selling things. Things are just sitting on the shelf. And he said that the other local comic shops as well are also experiencing that. So they're having a hard time bringing more product in because they're not moving any of the existing product that they have. And he said
that's
it kind
an interesting observation.
And I was like, that's interesting. Because, I mean, I generally, and he did too, enjoyed the Acolyte, but he was like, I am really having a hard time pushing product. His Funko Pops were super stocked up. Everything Star Wars he had was overflowing. And I was like, I didn't really even understand that. Because in my eyes, Star Wars is Star Wars. I can collect whatever. But I guess a lot of other collectors are not going for Star Wars collectibles anymore.
Well, Chris, what was your experience? Didn't you, when you were at the Edmonton Con or that other collector's show, didn't you run into a guy that was like, if you're buying one, you're buying all three of the Acolyte?
Yeah, he wanted to sell. He wanted to get rid of those. Yeah, the 5 Black Series figures. Yeah, nobody wants to buy them.
Crazy. I actually, you know what? I actually might go out and buy a Stranger and a Jackie and a Soul Black Series, because I really like Jackie. I watched that again last night. I watched 5 and 8, and I'm still blown away by it.
No, I know. I enjoyed the series. I think for the general public and people who are collecting these things and going to NYCC, I don't think it's enough time between it to give them a Stranger Pop right now. It's still a touchy subject.
There also might have not been enough turnaround for them to make
there might not have either,
and then paint and produce it. There might have not been enough time, but I think on top of it, probably the failure of the Acolyte, not a failure in my eyes, but I think it is generally seen as a failure by the majority. That they were like, oh yeah, probably.
You think that's going to affect collectibles, Funko, Black Series, when it comes to the Skeleton Crew coming out? Do you think they will? My thought is they're going to get that crap out, the merchandise out sooner than later, because of what they just witnessed with the Acolyte. That's my opinion. I'm curious what you guys think.
I mean, that might be that might be the new
Poser in the chat says hi everyone. Hey Poser.
Hey Poser. I think they might. It would behoove them to get it out, like we've always said, get it out as it's coming.
For sure.
You build, you ride the hype.
Funko do something like that. Funko normally doesn't put something out right when something comes out. They'll usually
the Ahsoka series they did. The Ahsoka series, they were on top of it with that.
Yeah, it was perfect marriage. But you had the show drop in that.
Yeah.
That's once out of how many?
Yeah. The Mandalorian, the first season, they were on top of that one too. They had the 4.
Oh yeah, because didn't they do Mando Wednesday or something like that? They had a specific day, and they every week it was not just the Funko, it was tons of product and merch. So I thought that was kind of neat. I don't know if they'll do that for Skeleton Crew or whatnot.
I don't know. I doubt it, because it's something new, right? It's something outside of the Skywalker timeline, right? Like the Acolyte was like that, and that was outside of that. So Skeleton Crew's kind of in that timeline, but it doesn't have anything to do with it, right? Like there's no, like I don't think we even saw Stormtroopers in the trailer, did we? Not in that trailer.
I don't think so.
So
I don't know.
It might be tough for them to promote that as like they did the Mandalorian, right? The Mandalorian, we got like, hey, it's a familiar face, even though the character's not. The character's brand new. It was a familiar looking character.
I think
right?
they need to sell it on the young kids and the adventure in all of it. The adventure in all of us wanting to pine for that unknown, that pirate adventure. Like I really think they need to kind of.
I mean, that's what they're. I think that's what they're doing with the trailer, but I don't know if that helps with the getting products sold off the shelves, though. So
well, you could
who
do
knows? We'll see.
You can make a day and have like kind of like when they did the original prequel, they had like a special day where they only had 3 products getting, and you knew they were going to announce something, but you didn't know what. And they did the battle droid that's on that little skiff, that you fly around. That was like one of the first, because I think they recently redid that in a vintage wave. But I remember that was like 3 months before the movie even dropped. They had released that toy.
Yeah, and the Mace Windu figure as well.
Yeah, there was like 2 or 3 items. And then the week of the drop of the movie, they had that like the weekend before, they had the big Toys R Us thing. Yeah. Now, we don't have them anymore in the United States, which kind of sucks. But I wish that someone took the reins and brought that kind of fun back. Like, anybody, even if it's a local stores, did something like that, it would be good.
Yeah.
Definitely so.
Right? Like if your local hobby shop sees something like that and they collect vintage and Black Series and Funko, it would be a really cool thing. Like, hey, listen, Toys R Us had a great success because everyone's still talking about it to this day. And there's no longer Toys R Us. So why don't we take the helm? And it might not be as a big Toys, but anyone local, any of our regulars that are fans are gonna like it, and they're gonna come and they're gonna support it. So I think that they should start doing that again, like working with the smaller shops to do that. Because here in Rhode Island, there is no toy store. You could go to Walmart, it's hit or miss. You could go to your Target, hit or miss. Macy's with their Toys R Us table, I'll call it table, not a section, table. And it's usually, as my son says, it's usually geared for the young kids anyway. It's a disappointment. So I think we need to bring that fun back for the collectors, for the kids and us, for our kids. It stinks not having a toy store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
But let's jump into our main discussion for today, and talks how to display your Funko Pops. Displaying them like a pro is what we're talking about.
I expect the ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
Yeah, so we're talking about how to display your Funkos as a pro, and as I mentioned, like those shelves that Tommy has. So let's bring up his screen, because those shelves they're just clean, like the clear acrylic. So that's one way you can do it. And he just used you
don't got to worry about bookshelves or anything like that. If you have wall space, throw them on the wall.
So let's talk shelves first, or at least like, I guess, not modes, but ways to display it. Like not aside from like displaying it out of box in box or chronologically. Like what kind of items do you use? Like what kind of I don't know what the term is. Like shelves. Are you using shelves? Or are you just using maybe these things here? Like this guy makes he makes these adhesive 3D printed things that hold your pops to the
wall mounts.
Yeah,
I've seen those.
Like, what do you guys think is the best way to put pops on? Like, what's the best thing to put pops on, in your opinion?
I
Tommy uses really the floating shelves. I like the details.
I think that's a tough one, Chris, because I think
and that's the thing. It is up. Yeah. Everything is up to the person. There's no right or wrong answer.
I'm curious.
Here.
I want to hear Lex's answer before I even say anything, because Lex has got a unique opportunity now to re-envision her collection, right? Like, so she's moved to a new space. It's like it's a whole new world, just for Lex. So Lex, curious, where and what is motivating you in mode of your collection going forward? How to display it and all that?
So, I mean, now I kind of am not recording from my bedroom, so it's nice that I have like a designated place to put my collection, but because I'm renting, I'm trying not to put too many holes in the wall, which is why I kind of went with the Billy bookcases. And plus, I feel like that is like a collector's gem. I feel like a lot of collectors have Billy bookcases, whether you collect statues, Legos, Funko. I feel like the Billy bookcases are a great alternative for putting things on, and then you can totally change how you do it. When I was living at home, the way I was kind of displaying some of my Legos and Funkos together is kind of like how there's a person on Instagram that does it, and they kind of make like out of the Billy bookcases like these scenes. So like a Tatooine scene, and then they have like an Endor scene and a Hoth scene, and you can kind of make like a whole movie. So I really kind of like that aspect of it where you're able to do it, but I also like just the clean look of like the acrylic like risers that you can kind of group them together. So kind of like how Patrick has it. But I also did build the Death Star shelf to put my Funkos on because I was running out of space and I didn't want to just like stack them up against my wall and have them go all around my room. So that's what I have here currently, and I kind of just threw the pops up there, and I'll decide what I need to do with them later. But I think building a shelf too is also really cool because then you can kind of custom fit it so that way it matches and you can kind of make your space how you want it to look, which I'm a big fan of, is custom shelving.
I love your Death Star. I love that Death Star display. That is just badass. And the fact that you and your dad built that together.
Yep.
Come on. That's
it was a feat. So, but it was really cool because everyone's space is different, you know, so how you display your things and how you want it to look. But sometimes building, like if you can't fit a Billy bookcase, sometimes building your own kind of shelving to fit what you need is a good alternative. And sometimes it's often cheaper depending on what you're using. But I definitely like, you know, kind of doing that. But I don't know. I'm a big fan of the Billy bookcases so far, but I still haven't really decided because there is so many options, like what we're going to go over today and some of the other pictures that we have of other collectors. They have some really cool things. So it really kind of boils down to what you're into, whether you like it in box or out of box, if you like it chronological or not chronological at all, and kind of just a mixture of things. So I guess it really just depends.
Yeah. So I do like these things. I think these are a nice option. Like if I had, I don't know, if I had someone that I wanted to like highlight more than others, I might get a couple of these. They would be a good option. Another good option are the baseball bat cases from Michaels. Our friend Noah from Rogue Nation, formerly Noah Nation. He used the baseball bat cases. I used them like before I went with the D12s. I had like about, I don't know, 10 of them on my wall at different heights and staggered, and they fit the Funko Pops in pretty well. Like there's some like the Infus Nest that doesn't fit because the horns on her head are too tall. But you can also turn them, like you can turn them vertically, and you can fit like if you're an inbox collector, I think you can fit like 5 or 6. Or maybe 6 or 7 inbox pops in there. You turn them vertically. Yeah.
And they fit your sodas perfectly.
There you go.
Yeah, I know you keep your sodas in them.
Yes.
Lex.
I do. I like those a lot.
See, I like the Billy bookshelves too. I went with Billy bookcases on the fact that it was either the Detail or Billy bookcase. Right? Those are really, I think, two of the main collector kind of go-tos. But what really kind of forced me into getting those is because I was able to get 4 of them for like $80 from a bookstore that was closing down.
Yeah.
So I jumped on that. And that really kind of started. And it was like, I wanted white because I knew I was going to use blue because of my logo and everything. And I kind of wanted to do this room that kind of color. And then the next room will be a darker blue. But I figured if I did the blue with the white trim, it's very clean and looks nice. So that's how I started. Was just how did I want to start displaying my stuff? because as you guys knew, 2 years ago, this was like a mustard yellow wall behind me, and I had all my pops in box stacked up to the point that they would just topple over constantly, the boxes. So I needed to do something. And now that I've done the Billies and I love it, Chris has corrupted me. He has brought me to the dark side, and I started doing out of box and putting them on little clear acrylic stands, which I really like those. The reason I've enjoyed that is because I can now understand why out of box collectors keep them out of box, because I can't tell you how many times I kind of turn around here or standing talking to someone, or my wife's in the room and I'm getting lost as she's talking to me. I'm just gazing at the collection going, God, that looks good. What can I do here? And I'm constant. I don't know. Do you guys do this? I'm curious. Tell me, do you move them around a bit? Like, do you kind of like, oh, that's crooked, or it's not? Like, I find myself doing it almost OCD obsessively.
Yeah, guilty as charged.
I'm not alone. All right, good.
Nope,
good.
you're not.
I mean, I move mine around every time I add a new pop to it. I mean, I haven't in a while. I gotta move my room around here. So my room's kind of a disaster zone right now. But once everything's in place, I move them like every time I add a new pop in, because I got to shift them over to fit them in.
You do yours chronologically, right? That's how you have your way of doing them.
Yeah. Which, Tommy, how do you go? How do you put yours in order, or do you have an order?
With mine are chronologically. I like my display to be very clean ever since I first started. So when I first started, I saw other people's displays, and I'm like, okay, I want my display because I'm an inbox guy. So mostly everything that I have, I like clean, orderly spaces. And I have a few out of box pops. Nothing like y'all, because some of y'all have a whole lot of out of box. But me, I like the uniformity of those boxes and everything. I love it.
Right.
I did too. I did too. Blame this guy.
That one right there.
Yeah. To see, he kept again. Oh, you should take him out. You'll enjoy. And he was right. I can't yell at him. I can't yell at Christopher because he was right. Like, I like seeing them, and there's so many details that the three of us have said often. When you get them out of the box, there's so much more to enjoying it, because there's something that you didn't realize. Like, we were just talking about it after doing a game recently, that one of the figures we used is actually translucent, but you wouldn't know it if it was in the box. I always thought it was black. You know, so kind of interesting the difference. I would say different ways of displays I've enjoyed is watching and looking at other collectors. Like Lexus had some really great collectors on in the past, because she just had didn't you just have like a compilation video you put together about a month or so ago of like all you must have like 30 different guests, collectors, avid Star Wars fans, and you and Chris, you've done this too. And I've always been inspired by watching other people's videos, whether they're a collector or just a fan, a content creator. They've got something usually in the background that you're interested in seeing. And for me, it's not just what they have, it's how they display it. And I've started to kind of like, oh, I like, I haven't even shot it yet, and I wanted to I find other things to shoot. But I mean, I bought an AT-AT that isn't anything. It's not a Black Series. It's not a TVC. It was the kid's toy, but it had that look of Funko. Like, it fit in with the look of the Funko, and so I like it. And so like now I'm like, oh. And as Lex was pointing out, there's a collector that does those scenes. Well, I have my own scene. I didn't print the backdrop like that guy does and has fancy lights under it. But fancy lights is something I'm putting on the Christmas list this year.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I think like to display your Funko Pops as a pro, it does have to have some sort of organization. I think, like, I don't think you can just throw them up randomly and just keep adding to it. I think it looks too weird. So even if you are an inbox collector, I think it has to have some sort of organization to it. Like even bigger YouTubers like Top Pops. He had Top Pops, Slapshot Pops. They have their collections on the billies. They go like 2-3 deep, right, or whatever. But they keep them in sections. Like Top Pops has like his TV Pops, his Star Wars, his Marvel in one section like that. I think Slapshot does the same thing. He keeps his Star Wars ones in one section, and I think he even narrows it down to like clone troopers in one section, right? Even if you're out of box, like Patrick does the Darth Vader's behind him in one section.
Yeah, I have in mine. Yeah, I do.
You got like Ahsoka. It looks like creatures. It looks like behind you there. And as you'll see from some of the other images that we'll show, there's different ways. But here's the baseball bat cases. So yeah, that's a good way of doing it. If you don't want to do like the big shelves, you can do these because like you can fit them inside. You can put them on top as well. There's the one if you're an inbox collector
too, won't they?
Yeah,
those baseball cases.
They're a little bit heavier. So
really,
they do have some weight to them, but I don't think they're like super heavy.
Oh, I like that.
So if you're an inbox collector, you can fit 6 of them vertically like that, and they fit.
That's cool,
right?
I do like that idea for inbox. Looks nice.
Yeah. Here's another one, right? They got out of box characters inside. They got boxes on top, and then the vertical. Yeah, that looks good.
That does look nice.
Maybe an idea for Lex.
I only have 3 of them, so
we'll make 3.
Yeah, it does.
So those are baseball bat cases. I like those as well. Bunch of people have Death Star displays.
Those are really
cool. Lex, did you make yours before you saw these, or did you see this and inspire you to make yours?
So
like, look at that celebrity right there.
Oh, I wonder who she is. But I ended up I was just looking through, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my collection when I first got into it, and I saw someone had a really tiny one, almost like that Hoth one. And I was like, I don't want to and then if you look at the prices and stuff, it's pretty expensive. And then on top of that, you got to pay for the shipping. And I was like, you know what? So one day I went up to my dad and I was like, hey, what do you think if I bought the wood and whatever, if we could put this together? And, we went and we measured my wall that I wanted to put it on, how big it could be. And then we went and we got the wood from Home Depot, and then we, progressively put it together. And it's actually 2 pieces. So there's a top piece of plywood and then a bottom piece. So I did get inspiration from some of the smaller ones that I've seen. I haven't seen one nearly as large as mine. I feel like there's a few that are.
Yeah, this one looks pretty big.
Yeah.
Here.
So. Yeah, that one does.
There's definitely different ways to do it. Yeah, and then you also have your TIE Fighter shelves too, which is cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Funko took your idea, Lex, when they did the mini one.
Yeah.
For the biddies.
Which is huge. So yeah, I don't know.
Those are kind of cool too. So whatever shelves these are, that's a
I think those are
off the floor.
I think those are what Funko James uses. He has something like that where you can
I think so.
Almost like the vaulted vinyl ones where you can put them in with protectors and stuff, but they hang on the wall. Yeah. And they're kind of cardboardy, but he uses those.
Yeah. And I like, so also if you're an out of box collector, or maybe you're an inbox collector, but maybe you want to keep the boxes if you're an out of box collector, this is a good way to do it too. Have the boxes behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you still have that box. You have the character name and stuff. And it does look like there's some sort of organization. He's got the Boba Fett's, the Mandalorians all together down here. He's got troopers. He's got prequel pops up here. So organization. I think you need to have some sort of organization for it to. Yeah.
At least in your own
some
mind.
more.
Well, and someone, no, who was it? I think it was Joe from Return of the Jedi. He was really the first person that I interviewed for Beyond Tatooine, and he was like, yeah, I just put them wherever. There's no rhyme or reason. He was like, however, if I put all of my, let's say, clone troopers together, they all start to look the same. But if I have like a clone trooper with a Kylo Ren with, a C3PO, like if it's all different, it makes me really look at everything that I
Yes, I
have
remember
and
him
think
saying
Yeah.
that.
out.
It
And I was
forces the
like,
viewer to peruse everything.
and I was like, you know what? I've never thought about that because I try to be chronological or at least like keep my prequel pops with my prequels, my rebels with my rebels. That's kind of just how I do it. But I never really thought of it like that. Like, yeah, if I did put all my clone troopers together, they're probably all going to start to look the same and there's no like
Yeah.
differentiation. So I thought that was cool.
Like this guy definitely needs to upgrade. He doesn't even have any shelves or anything. Like that's definitely like if I had to rate this one, I'd give it a big 0 for like just stacking it on the floor.
Well,
That's rough,
especially
man.
knowing that
Couldn't
they
do
fall
that.
so often when you pile
They
them up
do.
after, say, 6 or 7 high, they start to
Right?
get a little weighty.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, even this
and then
guy,
you're
like
damaging
the
your
one
box if
side's
you're a
all
box collector when that happens.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
I mean,
risque.
there's plenty of people that collect that way though, and they kind of
Yeah.
just fill the walls with their pops, like no shelves, no anything. They just stack
Yep.
them up, and that's how it rolls. And
yeah. This
if
is
that,
crazy.
That one
suits
there on the bottom right with
you,
the corner looked nice. All
Thought about
boxes.
doing
Yeah,
that when I first started, but I was like, I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
with the vacuum cleaners and everything like that, I would hate to
yeah,
bump into something and everything come tumbling over or something like that.
yeah,
right.
that's how I started. And then I had too many of them, and I was like, I got to do something. So that's when we built the Death Star shelf. But I'm
So
glad that I moved away from keeping them on the floor because they just get dusty
yeah,
too. Like there's just no, I don't know.
I like that. I like that combination, like the Billies with the glass doors, and then the I think those are like the old DVD
Mm.
or the DVD shelves.
Hmm.
Those are really narrow. They're not.
Cool.
Yeah, I like
I
that
like that,
combination.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought about putting doors or some way of covering this, but I tend to find myself pulling at them and plucking at them, to use for
fidgeting.
something or
right.
so I think having something over it just to keep from dust would just frustrate me because I just can't get at it as quickly as I want to.
Yeah,
I think that's the
Well,
only reason I wouldn't do a door. Because originally I was thinking of doing for each of the, I don't know, the spaces that I've created in the shells. I was thinking of putting hinges in acrylic so you could open it up and it would flip up. But I just felt it was just too much because now I've got to put something onto the shelving that's going to have latches or a hinge, and it
right.
just was going to look right. So
there's
Yeah,
one buddy of
I like
mine.
that.
Yeah, that is cool. I like that.
That's nice.
But I have a buddy of mine with the doors. He doesn't use doors. He has like pieces of plexiglass and he has
Yeah.
magnets and he kind of just like hooks it on. So he has like magnets on the shelf and then it kind of has the magnets outside. And I've actually seen a few more collectors start to do that.
oh, I
But he's
like that.
yeah,
I
so
like
he kind
that.
of
Yeah.
just like puts them on, and then when he needs to do it, he just pulls it off and then puts it back on. And I was like, "Oh, that's like pretty cool." And now I've seen
That's
a few
smart.
people that
So,
do that.
like, because I picked up a display case, I think it was a couple years ago now. It was probably a couple years ago or last year and a half ago. I don't know. It's a corner one. So it was like part of a display cabinet, like a retail one, and it was a corner piece, so it didn't have like it wasn't closed off. So I got the same thing. Like I got a clear acrylic plexiglass stuff, but I did like Velcro around, so I just pull it off
Alright.
with the Velcro and put it back on to get in there.
Mm.
So it works.
I like my corner hutch for my
Yeah.
tenant. I do like that. I've got the
Yeah.
10 inches and my helmet's displayed on my corner one.
Yeah.
And then I have the megas on the top with.
Yeah.
I used to have the movie poster behind the mega, the Vader and the Fett mega. But I moved that over to the smaller shelves in the other room and put my Inferno Trooper, or not Inferno, he's the flamethrowing trooper helmet in between them.
Yeah.
And I did that really to kind of keep Fett. For whatever reason, the Mega Fett has a very, very bad lean, and eventually he falls over. And too many collectors have messaged about that happening. And I end up putting industrial Velcro under their feet to help them stay. Vader
There you go.
is
Pro
pretty
tip.
good, but Boba Fett, yeah. Pro tip: I used industrial Velcro to cut. I literally would attach both pieces, stick the one piece on the foot, and then take an X-Acto knife and go around the foot of the Mega Funko Pop, just to get it so it's not sloppy and it looked clean. And when you're looking at them, you wouldn't even really know. You might be able to tell maybe with Fett, and that's only because if I told you that's what I did, you'd look for it. Otherwise, you would just think it's just a normal looking pop, nothing under it. But that has helped a great deal.
Mega, that's the 18-inch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the 18-inch Fett, I've come down 2 or 3 times before having done that, and he was on the floor.
Oh, no.
And I've heard somebody else had their Razor Crest underneath where his was displayed, and it came and it busted I think it busted up his cockpit, like cracked it. To his Razor Crest, and that, I mean, that's a toy you can't readily get available. You know, you can't buy it in the store. To get a replacement piece for that, who's selling a Razor Crest right now? You know, you're buying the whole thing. It's not like it's used and you're gonna find it on the cheap because someone's playing with it. Like that's a tough thing to have get ruined because something on your display collapses or falls.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The more I look at this picture here with this shelf, like I do like what they did there, but they turned it on its end. Like it looks like it's meant to sit horizontal, because that would be the backsplash of it. So, but I do like that they used what they had, right?
Yeah, you got to get creative sometimes.
Yeah,
do what you got to do to pose.
Do what you got to do. That looks cool with the glass display. Like glass displays are always cool. There's a lot of space in there though.
Now, how about you guys? Lighting. When it comes to lighting your display, what do you guys think? Because I'm about to make an investment in that, so I'm curious on you guys and in the chat. If you guys have some feedback, put it in the chat. I'm curious. Definitely. Like if you guys are displaying your stuff, whether it be Funkos, action figures, whatever, do you put lights? If you do, how are you lighting it? Are you using lighting pucks? Are you using lighting strips? Are you using LED little strips that you can plug and cut and do whatever? What do you guys do?
Those are what I'm thinking about.
I'm not using any lighting myself.
None? And none, all your details? You don't have any lights?
No.
I thought you did.
Nope.
I am a huge lighting freak. So
what do you
do? I turned my Death Star on just because of that. But with the Death Star, I used LED strips. But typically for my shelving units, I use the puck lights, the LED puck lights. And on Amazon, you can get a pack of 6 or 8 of them, I think for $15-20. And they're battery powered, so you kind of just stick them to the top and then turn it. And I just love lighting up stuff, and I think you can really emphasize certain things. And especially when you have deep shelves and you have stuff in the back, it makes it harder to see. So I'm a big fan of lights.
Now let me ask, Lex, on your pucks, are they white light, or are you able to do RGB and change the colors?
Yeah, you can change the colors.
Nice.
But I mean, you can buy base white lights, just regular white puck lights. But I have a little, it's almost like this, but it's a lot smaller, and you can change the colors of it and stuff. And I love lighting. I think it just adds an extra layer.
I've got 2 pucks. They're touch. You can just tap it, and
you can press them, or you can use the remote.
The 2 pucks I have didn't have a remote. It's just a tap kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's just white. And I originally got them to put in my Camtano because I thought, after buying it, I assumed that there's a light inside. When you open it up, I was like, how's there no light in this thing? That should be price of admission to illuminate the coolness of what's inside, what you're storing. But they didn't. So originally I bought them for that. I put the pops that usually have that clear acrylic of the flame, under them because I think they look cool. But now I'm looking at either doing a flat light that you can put double-sided tape and put them under the shelf so it shines down. The only problem with that is the thin one that I like, they only do white. I'm like, because I do like when I watch other people's channels, how you could change the colors and kind of go a little dark. I could turn off my main light, put those lights on. I could have different shelves, different colors. It would just look really neat. And then I could have my ring light or my lights that are on me focus on that. So I'm kind of Do I go the puck because they're a little bigger? But like you said, Lex, they're also cheap, and you can buy like a 5 or 6 pack. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure, but it's something I'm looking into now, because that's what I'm. If anyone asks, like my wife and my parents for Christmas, that's it. That's what I want.
So I'll grab like the puck lights because I brought them with me, and I haven't put them up yet. But the only reason that I really went with the puck lights is because I had the floating shelves, and when I tried to do the strips and stuff, you just have a lot of like wires that you have to deal with on the back end. And then sometimes where your collection is, there isn't an outlet. So then you got to get like an extension cord, and then you kind of have to kind of really worry about cable management. So that was a big thing for me, especially when I had the floating shelves, because I was like, if I just wrap an LED light, you're going to see that. And I didn't really kind of want that. I didn't think it looked as clean as I wanted it. So that's why I went with the puck lights, and they're battery powered. So you kind of just flip them on, flip them off, and then you go from there. But I'll grab them. Give me a second. I'll be back.
All right. Yeah, I'm always
and
curious.
You can also, like, they do have ones that you can charge USB as well that stick up on your shelves as well. So
I was looking at Amazon literally last night and trying to figure, like, because there was another one that was a strip. I think you can get a 4-pack of them for like $50, $60, but they're a strip. It's like a plastic LED light strip, and it's RGB, comes with the remote. And I was looking at that, and then I saw the pucks, and you could get the pucks, and I think you get a few more than what you got with the 4-pack, for around the same price or cheaper. So I'm kind of like, which way do I go?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So the pucks that I have, don't mind the adhesive, but they kind of look like this. Right, and I'll turn this off.
Okay,
and you can
so
press
it has
them.
a little bubble to it. Okay.
So it has a button, but it does come with a remote that looks like this. So you can change the colors.
That's cool. The puck
And then you
have
can increase like the brightness or decrease it to where it's off. You can do like a flash, smooth. So I just like the different options that you get with those kind of LED ones, rather than just like black or white or whatever it is that you're trying to do. But that's just how
because this is the puck I have, Lex. It's very, very no frills. Like, it's got a wall mount on the back, right? But then it's just literally a touch. So, but it's flat. There's no kind of oval to it, but it doesn't change color. And that's kind of like, that was the only thing I was like,
so that's the thing. Like, do you need it to change color though?
I want to, you know what?
I guess
if
if
I'm going to
you want
sink the money into it, I want the option. That's how I look at it, because what I'd hate to do is go out and get these, and I could have bought them all that I could switch the colors, and because if that's the case, if I'm just going to do white, I could do anything. Right? Just white lights. I might do the strips because they'd be thinner and you wouldn't see the puck as much. But I wouldn't mind as long as I get the playability of playing with the colors, because even if you get an RGB, you can make it white. So I feel like if I'm going to spend the money on it, I should get something to give me more flexibility or more variety, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So these are the ones that I bought. You don't have to buy these. This is not like sponsored or anything, but these are just the ones that I went with. They even have like black ones, and they have them in like 6 or 2 packs. And I just love Amazon because then you can return it if you're not really a big fan. So that's why I buy a lot of things from Amazon, because then you can kind of toss it out. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. But that's kind of where I go to with lighting. And I like the color changes, because when I was trying to do like scenes and stuff like Tatooine, I used like an orange color. When I did Hoth, I had like a blue color. So if you just want to light the general area, I think white light is nice, because it definitely emphasizes and brings more to your collection. But if you're trying to go with like scenes and stuff like that, and you want some to be cooler or some to be lighter, I think having that kind of ability to change the colors is cool. But
I agree. Really I like that.
So,
and I like to change it up a little bit. Like the main section right behind me, like above my Vader, like my Vader is the Vader shrine, if you will, right? That's my favorite character. It's like the shrine to Vader. I'm just as bad as Kylo Ren. I don't talk to it, but I do stare at it quite enough. But above that, I feel like where I have our Popcast sign that Jedi Lex made us. I tend to find that is the ones seem to be the pops that I put up there that I want to see in the moment now. Like, and it gets changed up every few weeks. And sometimes it's I want to display the newest pops that I've gotten, so I'll put them more in the front. What I did more on this one is I did a half of it was all dark side. I did a lot of the dark side wave that just came out. I did some of the Gaming Greats Legends in that, and then I did some of the custom Halloween Funkos that I did last year and this year to put them out on display. So that was kind of fun to be able to do that. And then the other side, they're just from every genre of Star Wars. They're just my favorite. So you've got like a Han and Carbonite sitting next to the New York Comic Con Cad Bane from years ago. Got what I like, or it's just a really unique pop. So I've put it there. It's tough. Collecting such a personal thing. I think there is no wrong or right.
I think what I've come away from, because I've interviewed quite a few collectors now, I feel like what I come away with is collecting has two parts to it. There's the toy hunts and actually going and getting the pieces, pre-ordering online, whatever you got to do. Like there's that aspect of just buying it. But then there's a second part to it, which comes down to how you want to display it. And I almost kind of feel like it's an art form. Some people don't put any thought into it. They kind of just throw them up against the wall and call it a day. But you have the different things, like how you can put shelves in if you want in or out. If you want to pose, like if you do statues, you could pose your statues and action figures. You can add lights. Like I totally feel like there is an art form to collecting that a lot of people don't put too much time into unless you're like a very serious collector and you want your room to kind of look cool. But I always say there's two parts to collecting. There's definitely the hunt and getting the collectible, and then it's how you display it.
Yeah, I agree. The acquisition and the displaying. Yeah, I 100% agree on that. 100%.
Yeah, my wife in the chat, she says she's been telling me I need lights in my room. One day I'll listen to her.
Yes.
And then say yeah. I mean,
to the wives.
Chris, I honestly thought you had lights on this whole time. No. I thought you had lights in your cases. Yeah. I always thought you had lights in those.
The Clunky Cast, how's it going, everyone? Hey, McClunky, thanks for hopping in the chat.
What's up?
Yeah, but this next image here. So I do like the risers. I don't know. He's the box there, but these other three are like custom risers. They look cool, but no organization on this one whatsoever.
Maybe they're
done you've done your own custom risers. I've experimented.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because the acrylic ones they're too short for the D12s.
Like so I have one that I like.
Baseball bat cases there.
Yeah, those are cool.
I like that. Yeah.
This one's cool. So this is cool. If you got other stuff you can display with your Funkos, like movies, whatever, in the background, it kind of adds to it, in my opinion.
100%.
And kind of organization there too. So like original trilogy, prequels, Jedi.
So Chris,
yeah.
I have two different types of acrylic styles, right? This one I like a lot, but I find that it doesn't have the depth in it for Funko right.
Yeah.
So like this is a nice one. This is a great acrylic stand, and I'm using it where I throw some pops on it, but they stick out about 1/4 of an inch off of this on each of these shelves, because you can see they're really not that wide compared to the other ones that I have. I really like that, and I picked this only because it's about an inch or two shorter, and this fits in any of the cubicle ones very easily, and you could put two of these side by side almost, and some in like my shorter. They're the Target knockoff of the Billy bookcases. I could put two of these near each other, next to each other, and it fit better than if I fit two. I couldn't fit two of the ones I have up there. But what I did find is on the vehicle one. So all of the speeder bikes, I was able to put the speeder bikes going in a single direction, and staggered them so that like you can kind of see each of them, and it fits
Yeah.
perfectly on here. The
That's
other
cool.
one's not so much. But
Yeah.
I do find putting them on the stands makes it so you can see them, so that it's not covering another one. I do like that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that's what the risers are good for. Like I said, I had to make mine. Mine are made out of like just foam board from the dollar store. So,
but you did
I just cut
excellent.
them in
I just didn't have the
and glue
patience.
them.
I didn't have the patience.
I'm surprised that. I'm surprised
it's
I had the
another
patience.
project that had to make time for it. I'm like, I barely got time now. I
Yeah.
don't have time to do that.
So another Billy bookcase one, which again, like I like if you're like an inbox collector and you keep the boxes. I like that they put the boxes behind them and then you can stack more stuff on top as well. Like that looks cool. I think that, like, no offense to the inbox collectors, I like how that looks better than, you know, putting inbox and then like another row behind it and stuff like that. But I mean, I guess if you got to do it like that because space, whatever, then that's fine. But that's one way. Here's that other collector still. So here's a closer look at that one.
That looks cute.
Yeah, his stuff is so cool.
Yeah.
I think those are.
I mean,
really
I'm looking. I'm like, wait, there's a. No, he did the Photoshop with
Does
all the
he
little
have-
lightsaber.
Oh,
effects,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
that's
I
cool.
wonder if he's got more images of his collection here.
He has a bunch of stuff. He does like a lot of wonderful pictures.
Oh, yeah, he
And
does
if
a
you scroll
lot of-
down to more, he has like some more like Funko Pop images that are really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like his stuff. He does a great job.
Is this what Jeter experience, whatever it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the?
Well,
Who was
like
the
I
one
like
that
how
you
they put the
pulled up,
books
Lex?
and the stuff.
Yeah, who was the one you pulled up where they did like the shelf is a scene?
Yeah, here I have her Instagram pulled up here. Gretchen
Those
Northbach.
that's
Yeah.
it. Winner chicken dinner.
And you can see, like, if you scroll back, you can see how she
The
went.
progression.
Yeah. Yeah, like, so you can see like how it used to look, right? But the scenes look cool. So this is like top tier.
Yes.
Oh,
my opinion.
absolutely. Love that. It's beautiful.
Right?
Beautiful.
You buying from K Dog and Fish, supporting Canada. Perfect.
Nice.
Like even on top here, that's not like I said, I think that still looks cool. And they're staggered enough where like the box kind of sits back and you can fit a pop in front of it.
Yeah, my Billies behind me go all the way to my ceiling. Literally to the ceiling. That's why I'm missing the one panel, because to get them in, I end up sacrificing a panel because I was trying to it was just scraping the hell out of it, and I just punched it and broke it and made standing them up easier. But the other room is where I put the ones on the tops of the Billy cases there, the Target version, and I like having the pop rides up there. It's just a neat way to display them. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Right? Cool. So like the background,
that's cool.
Like the sides and the back, right? And then the puck lights. Yeah, puck lights.
I didn't realize they did the inside of the side until you said that. I just thought it was the back panel. That's great.
Right? So like you got like all the Bespin Cloud City stuff, Jabba's Palace.
And I like how they did it, because I started finding layering when I do things like
the Force Ghost.
More fun.
I like the use of like the moss and stuff and the plants.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just looks in the rocks and stuff. Like
that's where my collection will eventually go, to something like that.
It looks so good.
100%.
I'll see if I can pull up the pictures, because this account like inspired me with my old like collection display, and that's what I wanted to kind of try to get back into.
I'm actually so inspired, Lex. I'm like, I've got a 2400, an Epson 2400 printer in the garage that's been sitting there for a few years, but it prints out like 13 by something images. So now looking at this, I'm like, I'm gonna take measurements and I'm gonna start making prints that I could put in the backgrounds. I love that.
Like the bounty hunters on the bridge of the Star Destroyer, like that looks awesome. The more Death Star kind of a New Hope stuff. Tatooine, amazing
that's top
display.
tier. I love how they have it staggered and layered.
Yeah, mine didn't.
And then Patrick, you can get photos like this just having it on your shelf. You don't even need your virtual volume.
Right.
Yeah. It's definitely a
There's
very
couple times I wanted
creative
to take a picture of
Yeah,
way
for
to
sure.
go
For
about
sure.
it.
shelf behind me. You know, like if I just took a picture of my Vader display, like I'd be pumped about it. It's a pretty nice looking display. I've got the figures on the clear acrylic. I have some in the box, you know, in a hard shell. I have, you know, like the meditation chamber out. I have stacked on top of a box is the Bespin scene with him and Luke. I do like the layering. I think that kind of adds something to it. And I'm
Yeah.
starting to find like those mini mystery pops that I've gotten in the past. Layering those in here and there just makes it a little more. I don't know, it just makes your eye wander. You know,
Right.
throwing
Yeah.
little pieces in there with it. I think it's a cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that, so top tier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I attempted it and it didn't look nearly as good, but I just loved that idea. And here, I'll show you. This is kind of what I was going with. So I had like my little scenes like in the
Yeah. Oh,
entertainment
yeah,
center.
it's cool.
And I did like a Tatooine, and I kind of like incorporated the different pieces of, you know, like Funko and Lego and whatever it was, and I would try to get some stands. So it was a project.
This
We
is
can
this is
say
what
that.
you have currently, or you did?
No, this is what I had before
I
I
like
moved.
that. I like that a
But
lot.
that was kind of, you know, what I was going with.
Yeah.
I like the mixing of the
Lego and the
Funko
Funko.
and the Lego. I do like
Yeah.
that a lot. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
I was trying to find things that like kind of matched, and you don't mind this bottom part, but yeah, that was like kind of, oh, I don't know if I have a picture of my Boba Fett one, but that was like probably the coolest one, I think. Scroll up.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
nice.
So
Yeah,
that
see,
was kind of,
I like that. There's a lot to look at.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I took some inspiration from the what was it, Darth Bach or
Yeah.
Bach, but they do such a good job. Like you can tell that they have
Yeah.
like the artistic side, and it just looks so good. Like with the moss too, like they definitely put the extra mile in for those, and I totally admire it.
Mm-hmm.
That's to me why I think I don't necessarily want to collect another TVC vehicle for a little bit. I'm gonna try to, because I got the Ghost coming. I got to figure where the hell I'm putting that.
Yeah, you do.
But
Yeah.
I want to get some of the like I don't want it the whole cantina, but I like that Mos Eisley little outcrop they did, a Navarro scene, and I like how they have, you could do the Moff Gideon Carter or the Tantive. Like I might, for myself, might start picking up some of those to start incorporating behind me in my displays, and you know, kind of mixing it up and having some fun. And like I was also talking about for photographing, I was trying to make some sets, some of my own dioramas with some foam.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned on here, I pulled out the foam from the packing of my air conditioner, and I was like, that would make a great step. And then you cut this out, and then you have an entrance, and then you can use these little things built into it. And so I just started visualizing what I could do with just the 2 styrofoam inserts that held my AC in its packaging. And I'm like, these are going to be great. And my neighbor has been yelling at me, those are winter projects. You do those during the winter when you can't go out anymore. So I'm saving a bunch of those things because I could build them, use them on my set. In the meantime, when they're not on set, they're in the display, you know, so it kill 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah.
I guess, Tommy, I have a hypothetical for you, a hypothetical question, because I know you're an inbox collector, but let's say one day Chris, you know, kind of brings you over to the dark side, and you're like,
I
want
wear
to go
you down. Yeah.
How would you go about, now that we've kind of gone through some different ways to display it, how would you go about doing an out-of-box display?
Oh, an out-of-box display. That's a good question. I really like the way Patrick has it set up in the background. I like the tiers and everything like that. And I really love taking pictures also. So I would like to do some things like what you did, Lexi, with your Boba Fett, and all of those, like those look really clean and stuff like that. So I like to do like little displays like that with
Yep.
different things, like when you had Tatooine, or have something looking more like how like the dark side stuff looks like real clean and sleek, something like that. Yeah, something with those Billy bookcases back there, put them out of the box. But I don't know if Chris is gonna turn me through the dark side. I honestly don't know about that one.
Okay.
As Anakin said, he's heard that line before.
It was like it was a what if, because I know you are an inbox collector, and we've gone through a lot of like out of box and inbox displays. So I was just wondering, if one day you decided how you might go about it.
Tommy, do you do sodas? Do you do Funko sodas?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I love sodas. It's just too bad that like it seems like Funko's kind of like pulling away,
slowing down on them.
I feel the same, guys. There hasn't been any sodas released in a while.
Last new one that we had was what, Art the Clown for Hot Topic. So like there hasn't really been any new sodas since like what, SDCC?
None.
Nothing.
Yeah,
no NYCC.
Star Wars
Can of corn ones and stuff like that. But I wish Funko would do more sodas, BM Club, because I really like the hunt of finding that chase and stuff like that. Because I bought a mystery box from Funko one time. I ordered 5 sodas and pulled 3 chases out of 5 sodas from Funko.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And my most limited one was the Alan Frog from Lost Boy. That was an 800-piece count, and I only paid $5 for it.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sheesh.
Yeah,
nice.
But to answer your own question, I would definitely like to do some of what both of you all are doing in the background, because I really like those out of box. It's just the dust and everything right now. I would have to like dust this room like every other day just to keep it clean, because I'm really kind of like anal about things like that.
Yeah.
I can't stand dust on my collectibles. It drives me crazy. So I'm always like dusting in this room just to keep it down. But out of box, I have a couple over here, but I have 5 out of box. So maybe y'all turn to me a little bit.
Okay. So do you keep your like the inbox pops? Do you do like pop protectors, or what do you do? Yeah, okay.
Everything is in a protector. Everything that if it has a protector for it, it's in a protector, because I want to keep them as pristine as the day that I got them. Because like I said, I'm really anal about my pops, like condition. Like Chris saw my one of my recent videos where the post office like got to me and messed up a couple of my pops, man. And I was like, oh my goodness, these post office people, it's like they're sitting here playing soccer with your packages and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just, that's one thing that just grinds my gears and just drives me crazy, because I had that happen twice in the past 2 months. I got packages from the post office, and they've been messed up, and it just hurts my heart being an inbox guy, because I can't stand putting a pop that I see that has damage on it and I'm looking at it. It just drives me crazy. So,
and you notice it. No, probably other people wouldn't notice it, but you'll notice it, and it drives you nuts.
Yes, I will look at a pop and look. That's the blemish right there, and nobody else will see it except me. People are like, "Man, these pops don't look that bad." I'm like, "Yes, they do look that bad." Because I'm an inbox guy, and like I said, I like my stuff to be very pristine. Because if I'm spending good money for it, it should come pristine. And I think Funko, I think they can do a better job with sending stuff out, and box lunch too. Because I had a friend who ordered something from box lunch recently, and they shipped it in a bag too. And he made a video about this.
I had that happen.
Like, why would anybody send a Funko Pop in a bag? You know it's gonna get destroyed.
Yeah, my sister did that. She was so excited. I was even more elated because I knew what I was getting. I got a C-3PO and a Yoda blue box. The boxes looked pristine until she sent them to me. She put them in the post office box, the priority mail envelope, not the
Your
plastic,
sister did that.
the
Your
paper
sister did
one.
that.
Yeah.
They were trash. By the time I got it open, when I opened it up, I went to take out C-3PO. I literally laid the box there and it was like flat. Like it just fell apart. I was like, oh. Like, that was the whole reason I got them was because they're pristine blue box.
And now Patrick doesn't have a sister anymore.
No, but you know what? To my sister's credit, yesterday she was at a swap meet and picked me up a Tobias Beckett that I didn't have. So I was like, oh, okay. I don't because she's like, yeah, they have Jyn Erso, they have Supreme Leader Snow. I was like, got it. What Jyn Erso? This one. Yeah, I got that. Tobias Beckett. Well, there's only two. Which one do they got? Or 2 or 3. Which one do they got? I got this one. I don't have that one. She's like, really? I was like, yeah.
Well,
so then, you know, the guy's like, do you come here all the time? And she's like, no, I could, but I don't. This is the first time I'm here. And he's like, well, I usually have more. And I said, well, next time you go, check them out and call me. And I'll tell you what I got. I said, it's easier for me to say what I don't have than to try to send you what I'm looking for.
Right.
You know?
Yep. Absolutely.
And I've been finding a lot of pops recently, finding them on Marketplace. Like I picked up a Tusken Raider for $5. $5. The guy's like, he works at a local Stop and Shop. So I met him. He was working. He came out, brought these. Like, I'm sorry, I don't have the base. I don't care. $5. What do I care? But I got it. It's like, this is great because I've wanted a Tusken Raider for so long. So now I finally have one.
That's awesome. For $5, you can't beat that.
No, not at all. No. And like, you know, for me, especially the fact that even if he had the base, that's great. But I wish that they still could be removed from the base because I like to photograph these things. So it always irks me that I can't do that. So every once in a blue moon, when I have one I can move off the base, I'm like, it's coming off. Like I just photographed Palpatine the other day for my last of my Halloween images. And I was excited. I could take him off the base. I put him on a rock. The rock matched, you know, the way I lit it and had it staggered. It matched the background. But and you kind of see, like, you almost see the whole thing, but you kind of don't. Like, I had to shoot low to high because I wanted you to kind of see his robe and what he's, you know, he's holding a little Halloween pail, like a pumpkin pail in his hand. So I really want to get that low, and I did, but I still. To me, it was like, wow, for the first time, I could see their feet, but yet because you don't really see his feet, it's more of just a robe. Right. And I didn't think about that when I was thinking it through, and I was like, after all that, I can't even see fucking feet. Like the first time I like make the effort to do that, they're not really there to see anyway. So I'm like, damn it. But it is, I do enjoy that older feature, and I thought that was a feature that it could come off. The fact that they're all stuck on it, little bothersome sometimes. A little bothersome.
Right. Yeah.
True. I can see that.
All right. But Tommy, before we go, let people know where they can find you.
You can find me on YouTube at the Popalicious Pophead. I'm on Instagram under the same name, the Popalicious Pophead. I'm just trying to grow my little channel. I have a lot of fun doing it. And I just love Funkos pretty much. Like I said, 2 Star Wars Pops got me started with all this stuff. And the 2 that started was Season 2 Mandalorian with Unmasked with Grogu and the Ahsoka one. And those 2, I never seen a Funko Pop until I walked in Walmart and I saw those 2 and I was hooked ever since.
Right.
So
yeah, it's how it starts. You have 1 and then 2 and then 50 and 200. It doesn't stop.
It is crazy because 2 years ago I did my first video for YouTube, and it was my first 50 pops, and I looked back at it the other day, and I'm like, man, I look so green talking about these pops, and the collection that I have now, like I have almost 200 more than what I had back then. So it's really a fun hobby, and I really love it a lot because I got to meet a whole lot of different people like y'all. And there's a whole bunch of other people like Slapshot Pops I'm friends with, and Top Pops and Pop and Duo and all of these other people. So
Right.
I really just love the Funko community in and of itself because it's so inviting and inclusive, and like people are really, really happy doing stuff like this, and I really feed off of that happiness, because like we need more happiness in the world, and if something like a Funko Pop can help you find that happiness, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
100%. Because I watched a lot of your channel, and I really enjoyed your ending message that you do on every video. And you did a specific video and were very personal. And I just want to tell you that I found that captivating. I found it fucking real. I'll be honest, real. And you know, I think I struggled through shit, and having this is an outlet. It is an outlet for me, not being able to, because I was laid off from a very creative job and I jumped into IT because I had to make money.
Right.
This has kept me going because I have that creative juice. This guy over here is the one that told me to get out from behind the camera and in front of one, because there was no way I was going to do that. But he convinced me. And had he not, I felt like I made one friend online because I'd really never gotten the chat groups and all that. But Chris kind of drew me in. Then I met Lex through that. And then I met a whole other group. Yes, he was fishing me in. But it's weird because, like you said, the community is so nice. And it's different. Like, I actually started to enter a community with TVC and Black Series. But I got shit on. Within 3 days, I backed out of the group. I was like, you know what? It was just like, oh, you do Funko. I'm like, dude, I like Funko because, one, I fucking worked for Mr. Potato. Okay, I don't need to see me bringing work home. Like, so to me, it was more of a fun thing, right? It had to be different than what I did in my day job at the time. And I also wanted to do something kind of fun. And I think Funko, what makes Funko fun is that they're not super articulated and super detailed in the poses like you would get a Black Series or, you know, figure arts or any of those things, right? But they're fun enough that it puts the fun in the character, in the scene, in that IP that you like. And that's what drew me in. And from the day we started doing these to where we are today as collectors, as friends, as watching the brand that we like grow, we've seen everything from our collections to the sculpting that Funko even does on the pops have grown better and better and better. So I think we came into this community at a time where it was all soaring and it was taking up. And it was, we all kind of met just shortly after that COVID year, right? I think is how I met you, Chris, right around the cusp of coming off of COVID. So it's, I think as weird as that was, that weird ass time that we had around the world brought people closer. It brought collecting back. It brought toy photography got a shot in the ass from it. So it really did a lot. And Popalicious, I must say, I really like your message that you do at the end of your videos because it is inspiring. Like we do this every week and we each have our own channels. But I must say that one video you did was very, very, very special. And you shared very personal stuff. And I just love the fact of your message is always positive at the end of the video.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And that's what I want to, like, Funko has given so much to me, and the people who collect have given so much to me that I just want people to know that, like, even some days with all these Funkos, you still have bad days. And it's not only a reminder for other people why I say that, it's a reminder for me also. Because, like I say, you are a diamond. Stay strong. Keep shining. You know what I'm saying? Every single one of us goes through so much. And we are all diamonds in and of itself. Every single one of us has a story to tell, and every single one of us shines so bright. And these people in this community here shine so brightly that it's just so great, man. It is just awesome. And it's almost bringing me to tears now, because I get a lot from this, and I get a lot from the people in the community just simply like checking out my channel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's encouraging by itself. Because prior, I didn't have 120 something people checking out my channel, but now I do. And it's slowly growing. And I really love that. And I really love to share the positivity that I've gotten from other people in the community. Yeah.
You are always welcome back on our show. We love having you. It was so much fun. And you're a positive person, and we like that. We enjoy that. And that's why we're all friends and involved in this and part of the community. Like
Absolutely.
I said, I wouldn't have been nearly as vocal if it wasn't for Chris. I would have been a guy behind the camera. And just
I totally understand. My own sister is one of my main people who always tells me, she says, you're a performer. Perform. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Because other people need to see me. Like other people need to see y'all. You know what I'm saying? So we all have people who I think can just take a break from some of that stress that people go through on a daily basis and like give them like that 15 minutes, that 20 minutes of just something that they don't have to think about the craziness of their life. They can think about the beauty and the fun of collecting these little figures that has brought us all together, which is awesome. So yeah, I just really love the community. And anytime you all want me on the show, just let me know, and I'm there. Most definitely.
Absolutely. But thank you for coming on, Tommy. We appreciate it. Patrick, where can people find you before when you're not on here with the
when I'm not
Lex
here
and any guests?
All things Funko and Star Wars, the likes of you and Lex, and awesome guests like we had Tommy today. I'm on my own channel, Poptography. And you can find me on any other social media outlets at Poptography YT. This month, as most of you know, I've been doing some monster mashups and some Halloween images. I just dropped a really fun Vader Halloween image. Was it 742, the Vader holding the pumpkins. So that was fun. And as you guys heard, the next one will be Palpatine. So excited to, have some Halloween shenanigans on the channel. So if you guys are in the Star Wars Funko Pop, I do unboxings, I do toy hunts, and I do photography. So check it out. But enough about that. Lex, where can people find you when you're not on here talking with me, Chris, our special guest?
Well, when I'm not here with you guys and any special guests we have, I'm on my own channel, which is Jedi Lex, and I kind of just do everything and all things Star Wars, collections, conventions, you name it. I probably talk about it on my channel, and now that I'm finally moved into my new space and started my new job, I'm totally looking forward to getting back into creating content and doing the things that I love and sharing what I love with you guys. So now that I'm in Jacksonville, there's a whole bunch of comic shops and stuff that I want to check out and share with you guys. And we have the end of the month coming up, so I'll do my October recap. And those are some of the things that I have planned. And then hopefully get some more guests back on for Beyond Tatooine, possibly Tommy. We'll see. And we'll go from there. But Chris, when you're not here with me, Patrick, and any guests that we have, where can people find you?
Well, when I'm not on with you and Patrick and our special guests that we have on from time to time, I'm on my own channel, Seriously Star Wars, doing weekly Star Wars reviews. And I've got a couple Funko Pop reviews coming up and my haul video next week. So stay tuned for that. But thank you, everyone, for watching and joining us today. And we'll see everyone in the next episode.
Keep shining.
Yes,